This tiny device from Kingbolen could save you an absolute fortune. Keep watching and I'll show you how. Let's have a look at the packaging before we get outside and test it. It feels premium, a bit like a high-end mobile phone, iPhone or Pixel type box. You can slide out the drawer using the pull on the bottom. Inside we've got our fabric hard case with the Kingbolen Ediag Elite tool inside there, and we've got a couple of quick start guides, just various languages. There is a serial number and activation code. There's also a QR code that you can scan to activate the device. If you are having any issues, you can reach out to customer service. They are available in the app. It does say on there 24/7, but it might take a little while for them to come back to you. This is probably the nicest case that I've had for a code reader before, which, considering the price of it, is quite astonishing really. And what I do like about it is it does fit in the palm of my hand. So if I want to go and take a device to have a look at doing a health check on a car before I buy it, or just having the glove box as an emergency tool, this would tick both those boxes. Inside we've got the tool itself. It's got a nice foam layer on the inside, which is sort of exactly the size it needs to be for this type of device, and you can see that it fits in really nicely. The zip feels good quality, and the main thing is that with everything done up, if I shake it, the fact that the foam's holding it all in place means that the case can be held in a pocket without worrying about the actual device itself getting damaged. So quite impressed with the packaging, very impressed with this case. So the car we're going to try the Ediag Elite on today is a 2006 Mini Cooper S R53, a John Cooper Works edition. Now this car has a slightly annoying problem that the airbag light is on, and it's quite common on these cars because the connectors under the seats do suffer a little bit where the seats go backwards and forwards when people get in and out the back. So first of all, let me show you the light that's on, and then we'll plug the Ediag Elite tool in and see if it will clear the codes on this car. I'm going to put the key into position 2. This light in the middle up here will come on. It should go off and stay off, but at the moment it's going on and then staying on. So you can see it will go out and then it will return, and it's staying on permanently. Now this is quite common, the connectors under the seats, or if someone's taking the seats out to replace them and they've not disconnected the battery, this light will come on and it will stay on. You do need a code reader to put it out. So let's plug the Ediag Elite tool in and see what it shows us. This is a UK based Mini, so underneath the driver's side cubby hole there is an OBD port cover. We just to pop that down, and the Ediag Elite tool will plug in. The bigger side here needs to be towards the passenger side in this particular model. It will go in and you can hear it beeping to say that it's connected. It also has a green light on there just to show that we've got power going to it. So if we zoom in a little bit, you can see it is all lit up down here. So let's scan the car and then let's see what it comes up with. So I've entered the VIN in manually. It's picked up the car, it's just processing at the moment, and then we're going to do a full health check on the car itself. All we need to do is see what's going on with the airbags, but because it's the first time we've checked this car, we're going to do a full read on it and see what the deal is with it. So let me join you back in a minute once this is done. So if we have a quick look down the list, we can see we've got an SRS fault, which we knew about. So we can go into that module. It tells us our part number, the ECU identity, and then if we push continue, we can now read the fault code. Now I suspect it's the driver's seat. So yeah, side airbag, front right. So we can go back, we can clear this fault code, confirm. You can see the airbag light flashing, so let me show you that. So we can see on here that the light has gone off. Now obviously I've not reset the ignition yet, so once I've turned it off and back on again, we should see that light come on and then go out. That's what we're looking for. So let's try that and make sure that it's definitely gone. And there we have it. So we can see the Kingbolen Ediag Elite tool has done its job there. We now have no airbag light on. Let's have a quick look at the maintenance functions section on the app itself. So you can see if I go into there, all of these are not downloaded to begin with. If you want to download all of them, you can, but obviously you can just download the ones that are suitable for your car or the thing that you're trying to do on there. So just looking down this list quickly, I know for a fact I'm not going to need DPF regen. I don't have a diesel, so there's no point in me downloading that. TPMS reset for this particular car doesn't have a TPMS system on it. It relies on the ABS sensors, but if you do have a car that's got TPMS on it, it's a handy thing to have on there. ABS bleeding, again, doesn't work on these cars, but it probably will on some others. And even things like gearbox relearning, battery matching, EGR adaptions, there is a lot on here for the amount of money that you're paying. So one thing I really like about this tool is the fact that you can read the data streams coming off of the car itself, and that can be quite interesting. So I'm going to show you how to have a look at the ECU and see some of the stuff that it can check for you. So I'm going to pull it up, go into system selection, we're going to go into drive. It's under DME2 for this particular car, so this is the ECM module 2. You can see it's working relatively quick as well. It's got really good Bluetooth capabilities on it. We're going to go into read data stream and go to general. Now on here there's a lot of information. What we're going to have a look at is the battery voltage, because we had to change the alternator recently, engine speed, air temperature, coolant temperature, and we can have a look at the air pressure as well before the supercharger. Now we can select all of these if we want to, but I just want to have a look at these particular ones. Push confirm, and then it pulls up the data straight away, and you can see the battery voltage is good, it's idling well, the air temperature, intake air temperature is just over 11 degrees Celsius, the coolant temperature is on its way up, so it's currently at 68, and the air pressure is pretty good as well. Now we can record these if we want to and play it back at a later date if we need to check it before we've made any changes. So for example, if I was going to change the pulley on the supercharger, I can see what the pressure's like before and after the change at idle and various points. But there is plenty of things that you could pull data wise from this car. This is just a very small selection of it. With that said, it is quite chilly out here, as you can see. If it's 12 degrees and the intake air temperature is definitely cooler than that out here where I'm sitting. So let's go into the warm, go back to the office, and let's have a quick chat about this tool itself. Overall, massively impressed by this Ediag Elite tool. I'm going to leave a link to the Amazon listing in the description down below. It has a 4.3 stars out of 5 rating, over 1,300 reviews, so even on that basis you know it's pretty good. When it comes to the positives on this device, there are a number of them. There are a couple of little niggles that we'll discuss as well. This will support most vehicles after 1996, as long as it's got an OBD2 port, 100 different manufacturers, 20 different languages. So wherever you are in the world, this device would probably support the motor vehicle that you've got. There are free lifetime updates as well. So as and when updates come out, they will update the app for free. It's bi-directional, so what that means in layman's terms is that you can command the car to do things as well as receiving data back. For an example, on the Minis, which is what this channel primarily works on, if I was to have a Mini R53 and I want to check that the fan is working okay, I can send a signal to activate the first and second stage fans via the DME2 module within the app, and it will either work, and if it doesn't work, then I know I've got an issue with the fan resistor, the fan housing, or the wiring going to it. Also, another good positive on that bi-directional aspect is that you can reset the airbag light in the Mini R50, 52 and 53. That won't work on all cars, so obviously you've probably seen other salvage channels like Saving Salvage, Salvage Rebuilds, Matt Armstrong, Chris Slicks, all those type of people, where they have to send the module away to be coded. But these early cars, like these Minis, it may be possible you could just reset it using this tool. The live data on there works really well. We've tested that. We had a Mini R53 that we took for an MOT. On the way back, we had some lights come on. Plugged this device in, identified a wheel speed sensor was playing up on the front offside, replaced that, reset the codes, lights not come back on since. And obviously the main one for me is its size. It feels premium in that fabric case, that hard case, with that little sort of almost like a foam insert to stop it from rolling around. It's a really nice premium feeling device. Even the packaging it comes in feels premium. So honestly, for the price, I don't think you can fault it. Comparing it to my more expensive code reader, this device does everything that code reader can do, and sometimes it's displayed in a much more aesthetically pleasing aspect than the more expensive one is. Am I going to get rid of the more expensive device? Probably not. Probably going to use it alongside this one, but is this device definitely worth picking up? 100%. Couple of little niggles. So as I discussed earlier, ABS bleeding is one of the maintenance tasks that you can download, but on the cars that I typically work on, which is the Mini R50, 52, 53, it will not support ABS bleeding on that particular generation of car. Now that's not to say it won't support your car if you're watching this and you've got a newer model, but if you're unsure, just reach out to customer service, ask them the question, they'll come back and they'll say yes or no. The automatic VIN scan, now a lot of scan tools do support this. This doesn't pick up the VIN automatically for this particular generation of cars. It just means you have to enter it manually. The only thing with that is I've had a couple of people that have bought these devices and they were unaware that you could enter the VIN manually. They thought you just push VIN scan, it comes up, job done. I'll leave it on the screen now, show you whereabouts it is, but if you do have a older car and it's not automatically picking up the VIN, just put it in manually, get it out the windscreen, side of the door, strut tower, wherever it's printed, just put it in and it probably will pick it up for you. The other thing is electric vehicles are not supported by this device. I've got an electric car that I use for work, it won't pick up that car on there. I've reached out to customer services, they've confirmed they don't support electric vehicles via this Ediag Elite tool, so that's fine, but again, just making you aware of it. And the time that it takes to do a full health scan on the car is a little bit longer than it takes on the more expensive device. When I say a little bit longer, I'm talking probably a couple of minutes, so it's not the end of the world, but I understand the reason why. So just quickly for context, then when you do a full health scan, it's trying to find every single module that could possibly be in the car. So newer cars have a lot of modules in there. It's looking at everything, which is fine. The more expensive device knows that it only has these modules. So rather than looking for everything, it's only looking for, say, the DME2, the ASC, the ABS, and the SRS system. It's not looking for all the other stuff that it could possibly have in there as well. So scan time is a little bit longer, but again, when you consider the price point, I think most people would accept a couple of extra minutes rather than having to pay 10 times the price. So they're the niggles. Hopefully that's been fairly balanced. Hopefully it makes sense. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel. Go and check out the main channel if you want to see this device in use over there as well, because we have used it a few times, so it's not like I'm just promoting something and not actively using it myself. And if you've already got one of these, then let me know how you're getting on with it. Let me know what the good points are, the bad points. Let me know if you would recommend it as well. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you've all enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the next one.